back to another video. In this tutorial, I'm going to be talking a bit about how to install ChromeOS Flex on an old PC. So for those of you who don't know what ChromeOS Flex is, it's basically a version of ChromeOS. Like, it looks the same as ChromeOS and everything, but you can install it not just on a Chromebook, but also on that old PC collecting dust in the closet. And has pretty low system requirements, so it can basically really breathe life into an old PC. And so this sounds great and everything, but so there has to be a catch now, doesn't there? Well, right. There are actually two. The first one is that you can't install ChromeOS Flex on just any old PC. See, Google has tested ChromeOS Flex with several models of PCs and made a list of which ones work with ChromeOS Flex and which ones don't. And so I'm going to put a link to that list in the video description if you want to check that out. I mean, you should check that out before you try installing this, because you might run into serious issues if it's not tested and proven working with Chrome OS. So yeah, only do this if you know that your computer is going to work with Chrome OS Flex. The other catch is that since Chrome OS Flex isn't quite Chrome OS, not quite Android, you can't even install apps the normal way. It doesn't have the Play Store, so I'm not sure why Google couldn't just very easily add another app store, but alright. So there are ways of using the Linux development environment to install Chrome OS. Chrome OS Flex, of course. And I'm not really going to cover that in great depth in this tutorial. If you want to learn how to do that, there are plenty of other tutorials out there. And so other than that, Chrome OS is mostly great, and so let's get started. So, quick note, you need to use Chrome for this apparently. It won't work, I've heard, if you use another web browser, even another Chromium-based one like Microsoft Edge. If you haven't installed Chrome already, which I haven't, so I'm going to cover that. You go to your web browser that's not Chrome, and you want to just do a search for download Chrome. That's hilarious. There's no need to download a new web browser. Microsoft recommends using Microsoft Edge for a fast, secure, and modern web experience that can help save you time and money. Try now. That is absolutely hilarious. That, like, Microsoft. Yeah. Anyways, you just want to click on the top result here. Microsoft Edge runs on the same technology as Chrome with the added trust of Microsoft. Browse securely now. Learn more about Microsoft Edge. And so anyways, you just want to click on download Chrome here. And it's just going to download the installer. You want to run it. So yeah, it's just a pretty basic installer. It's just going to automatically download Chrome, automatically install Chrome. It actually looks a lot like the Microsoft Edge installer. Starting to think these are all intertwined. I mean, well, obviously they are. They're both Chromium based. But yeah, the installers are like basically identical. So that's just kind of interesting. Just a little side note. And so yeah, it's just gonna do this real quick. And if you hear a whirring noise in the background, those are my computer's fans. My computer is kind of crap, and apparently doing a screen recording while installing a web browser is, I guess, too much for it. Maybe I can close out of this. Yeah. Yes. Download complete. Okay, are you gonna start installing? If it takes much longer, I'm going to pause the video and resume it later. Okay, I said the magic word. It always finishes when I say that. Are you gonna finish? Or at least start installing. Alright, I guess I really will pause the video. And Chrome has automatically opened. So now what we want to do is we're gonna go ahead and open the Chrome Web Store. Get out of here. And we want to do a search for Chromebook Recovery Utility. And we want to open the Chromebook Recovery Utility. See, I've already installed it. But you would just install the extension like any other, and then you would open it here. Yeah. Wow, trying to open an extension is really hard work, apparently. Uh-oh. Okay, what's wrong with my auto-hide? Whew. Alright. So we would there, now I can just spam it all I want. I'm going to quit and relaunch Chrome. So this is why I do not recommend Chrome for anyone. It's just so buggy. Maybe it's my computer. I don't know. Let's try it again. No, huh? Oh, finally. So yeah, as I was saying, see, it opens in its own window, which is kind of nice. You can actually close Chrome while you're doing this, which is nice on computers like this, which struggle to do even the simplest tasks. So anyways, you want to click Get Started here. And then, for Identify Your Chromebook, you want to click Select a Model from a list. Under Select a Manufacturer, we want ChromeOS Flex, or Google ChromeOS Flex, I should say. And then select a product, ChromeOS Flex. And then click Continue. And then we want to insert our USB drive here, which needs to be 8 gigs or larger. I don't have that, so I'm actually using a 500 gigabyte USB external hard drive, which is totally overkill, but it's the best I got. And yes, I know I'm totally outdated, that I don't have an 8 gig or larger flash drive or SD card. And so, yeah, I'm just going to plug in my hard drive and select the media you'd like to use and select it. And it's going to give a warning. Warning, is this the correct media? Because it detects that it was a hard drive, it won't give you that if it detects that it was a flash drive or SD card. And you want to click Continue, and then you want to click Create Now, and then it's going to create a recovery image, which is going to take some time. So yeah, I'm going to pause the video here, and I'll be back when it's done. So I'm back, and we are now ready to boot into our USB installer. And so what we're gonna do is we're just gonna plug in our USB drive here. Oh, and by the way, if you don't know what you're looking at, that's my screen. So yeah, and so yeah, we're just gonna plug in our USB. And then we're just going to power on, and then immediately start pressing our boot menu key. And so this varies depending on your computer manufacturer. You can just look that up. Mine, the computer that I'm installing this on is a Lenovo IdeaPad 3, and so the key for me is FN F12. So I'm gonna power it on and start doing that. And see, we're in the hard drive. Boot menu. If you look here, you'll see you'll see all this. I've actually already installed ChromeOS Flex on here, kind of like to test it out, make sure this tutorial is gonna work. So that's why it's appearing in the boot menu. You want to boot from EFI USB device, or just from regular USB, if you're on a legacy BIOS system. And so I'm gonna select that, and it's gonna boot into our ChromeOS installer. Presently. Yeah, do it. Okay, there we go. Alright. And so... Yes. Yes. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Just... yeah. Just pay no attention to that. Just a phone call that my parents are on, of course, because they have to do it now when I'm doing a video. So yeah, this takes a while to boot. If it takes much longer, I'm just gonna pause the video. And why does it always finish booting right when I threaten that? Alright, and so we're in the ChromeOS Flex installer. I'm just going to connect to the internet real quick. And I'm just going to change my language here to Canadian English. And we're going to click Get Started, and we want to install ChromeOS Flex. And it's going to just like have a warning and another warning, and we're going to click Install. That's basically it. It's just going to install now. And so yeah, I'm gonna pause it here. It really doesn't take that long though, just a few minutes. It says 20 minutes, but no, it's not. And so yeah, I'm just gonna pause here, and I'll be back when it's done. So the installation is finished. The computer is shut down. So now let's remove our USB drive, and we can power this thing on. Now you'll notice that it's boot looping here. So if your computer is doing this, I've only tested it on this one computer. I don't know if others will do this, or if it's just a weird thing with this computer. So there is a workaround for this, don't worry. Yes, shut up. So first you want to just basically enter the enter the boot menu again. And then it's probably going to be trying to boot from ChromeOS Flex. Just move the camera so you can see that. There we go. ChromeOS Flex. You want it to boot from EFI hard drive. And then it should just boot normally and not boot loop. If it takes much longer, I'm going to pause the video. I'm waiting for it to finish. I said the magic word. If it takes much longer, I really will pause the video. There we go. There we go. Now you'll notice that this looks a lot like the installer. Actually, it actually fooled me that it was actually booting from the installer, even though I didn't know how that was possible because I'd already disconnected the drive. So I'm just gonna, for some reason I have to do that again. And then I'm just gonna connect to the internet. And I'll just browse as guest for now. Accept and continue. And that's about it. It's basically just regular Chrome OS, except somehow, I didn't know this was possible, more locked out than regular Chrome OS. Because, see, you know, it doesn't have the Play Store. I know it's not just because I'm browsing as a guest. Like, even when I actually sign in with my actual Google account, yeah, there's no way to install apps. I mean, obviously, I guess Chrome is the App Store, because you can just basically save web pages as apps, but it's kind of a different thing. So I'm not really going to go into detail about how to install normal apps on it. But if you want to learn, there are plenty of tutorials out there on that subject. So you can actually run Linux apps without too much difficulty, if you just set up Linux, because yes, fortunately, ChromeOS Flex does support Linux. Obviously I can't do that because I'm signed in as a guest, but yeah. So that's about it. So if you found this video helpful, please like and consider subscribing. Doesn't cost a thing. And it's a nice gesture to subscribe. Unfortunately at this point I'm not at the monetization level of subscribers yet. I hope to get there. Please help. And so yeah. That, and I will see you in the next video.